Cage Nation TV is brought to you by Lion Country's rock station 105.9 Quick Rock. Streaming worldwide at 1059quickrock.com.
Let's go. Welcome to the Cage Nation. Welcome to the Cage Nation. Welcome to the Cage Nation. No one can drop us, no one can stop us. We are the warriors, no one can top us, no one can rock us. We are the warriors, no one can drop us, no one can stop us. We are the warriors, no one can top us, no one can rock us. We are the warriors.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this edition of Cage Nation TV. Drew Shannon, Albert Cameron, Rob Lynn. It's been a while.
It has. It's been a busy summer. Lots of change in the air, but it's good to get and hang out with you guys in the studio again.
I think it's about time. You know what I say about news. You need to be on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to get this out there, but thanks to everybody at Strike Off Fighting Championships this past June, I had an excellent time at the fights, being the ring announcer. I will be going back to that organization, I think, at some point next year. I'm not quite sure, but we'll keep you posted. So right. That was a great event. A lot of great fights that came out of it. It was a long night, but man, it was intense.
Worth it. We went to Pinnacle that night, and Kessling was actually there. Kessling went with us to Pinnacle.
Did he?
Yeah. You have to think about that one?
Yeah, I do. My brain's fried.
he went to Pinnacle with us, and then we went to Gladiators and Butler, which both of those were a fantastic time. I think a lot of...
I didn't get to go to Butler Gladiators.
Yeah, you did.
Did I?
Yeah, you were there.
In July?
Yeah.
No.
No, you didn't go to King of the Cage.
King of the Cage, that's what I missed. I was at Gladiators.
Yeah, you were at Gladiators. You didn't go to King of the Cage.
I was at Gladiators. I'm sorry, I'm getting old and senile. Both of them, and they go in tandem.
Yeah,
it's a hell of a combo.
It has been a good summer for fights, and I'm glad we're able to get back to a spot where we're able to report on it and be a lot more current with.
I can't believe I'm that senile.
Wow, shake it off. Shake it off. All right, coming up, the title fight fallout from the August 1st events, which would have been yesterday as we're taping this. Rumors that the Pride Fighting Championship could be coming back. And is the deal with Reebok working out for the UFC the way it was supposed to? Plus, I gotta take issue with Dana White at some point throughout this.
I don't think that's gonna be. I think we're gonna be able to allow you the time to be pissed off at Dana White.
I appreciate it.
I don't think that's gonna be a problem.
I think a lot of people are pissed off at Dana White, especially a few people in the WWE and professional wrestling ranks. But we'll get into that a little bit later on. Come on back. We're back with another episode, and it feels reunited, and it feels so good. I'm not gonna do.
You could have gone. The boys are back in town, but you kind of.
If you did that, I would
bitches, I'm going peaches and herb, okay? We'll be back in just a few with Cage Nation TV.
I need a pay.
Your wedding, your home that you want to sell, or those moments of glory in competition are once-in-a-lifetime moments that you want to make sure are captured perfectly, right? Rob Lynn Photography is that specialized professional service with the care of a trusted friend. Rob Lynn has been capturing those special moments for over 12 years and has a passion for his craft that is unparalleled. Every bride deserves to have her wedding photos look like magic. Every home seller wants their property to be shown in the best light, and every competitor wants their glory to be relived for years to come. Visit www.roblyn.org to view Rob's portfolio of unbelievable portraits, or give Rob a call at 814-932-9515 and let the man himself listen to what you need and allow him to work his magic. Rob Lynn Photography, online at www.roblyn.org, or call him at 814-932-9515. 814-932-9515.
Welcome back to this edition of Cage Nation TV. Drew, Albert, Rob. Last night, let's just say it, anytime she fights is a most anticipated fight, okay? Because it's Ronda Rousey, for God's sake. 34 seconds beating Beth the Pitbull Korea at UFC 190 by knockout. And what?
It's her first knockout.
No, Alexis Davis.
Thank you. Okay.
All I saw was the stills from that fight. I saw the video. And then I saw the stills afterwards, and...
Did you see her, like, Korea's lifeless body there?
Face plant.
You know,
she is...
She just looks like a barrel full of assholes with the good ones taken out.
Before you get started on that, I would like to state, before we get into this conversation, that I firmly believe that Ronda Rousey is not all hype. So I know that...
Really?
Well, no, I mean, a lot of people have been like, oh, I hope Correia wins because Ronda Rousey hype train. You don't finish fights the way Ronda Rousey does, completely tearing apart everyone in the women's bantamweight division and be all hype.
Well, I don't want to take anything away from Ronda.
Okay.
Excellent athlete, very, very good fighter.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to nitpick, you could say like her striking has some holes, but I'm not a striker. I have really no qualification to critique this woman, but the division is kind of thin.
Extremely thin.
We're talking like skim milk thin.
Well, now and that raises an excellent question. How many more fights does Ronda have in the UFC before it's like, all right, you've run out of contenders, you've run out of competitors.
Well,
she takes the high road going somewhere else.
Well, taking her third fight with Miesha Tate.
Is that official?
Yeah.
Miesha's the only person to get her.
When Miesha Tate beat Jessica Ai, she became #1 contender for the bantamweight title.
Well, we know that being the #1 contender does not necessarily guarantee a spot in the title matchup.
I'm like 99 that it's Tate versus Rousey 3.
I wouldn't be surprised if Frankie Edgar somehow got it. Or Uriah Faber.
Correia.
How do you lose that many title fights and still get title fights? I'm sorry. Okay. But go ahead.
Correia, at the weigh-ins, gets in Rousey's face. Oh, she got starched bad. But she's at the weigh-ins, she's getting in Rousey's face. Don't cry. Don't cry.
She's speaking that...
Portuguese.
Yeah.
Okay, now did her jaw come unhinged at that point too? Because I saw a picture of it, and it looked like
it was an intense stare down.
It looked like a boa constrictor was about ready to devour a mouse. Just the way her jaw was like,
She's a very, very fine looking woman, and that's probably what you were noticing.
Yeah, well.
I'm sorry. 34 seconds. You're fighting in your home country, and you can't even keep it going for more than 34 seconds. And I get that that's longer than the last two combined.
Cat Zingano.
But still,
the Cat Zingano approach was, I'm going to run at Ronda, get lots of my own personal momentum build up, and then hope she doesn't use it against me.
Yeah. What did she do? Oh, I forget what that is she does. She was a welter, I think. You know, but Betcha Correia, she's a striker.
Yeah.
And she gets knocked.
She's a brawl. That's what she does. Correia's
in 34 seconds by a non-striker.
I know we're at the stage where we should all be like, he's a mixed martial artist or she's a mixed martial artist. But I mean, at the end of the day, there's still specialties. We know that Ronda Rousey's a judo specialist, so we know she's good on the ground. Her takedowns are very good. Her sweeps and throws are her weapons. Correia is a brawler. That's what she does.
I think.
Has she been rounded out? More than likely.
I think she's a can, and she just got crushed.
Do you think Correia's a can?
Yeah. I don't care about her record. The division is thin. And this is the problem. You have very talented ladies that all make up, the lower end of the division.
Right.
And then you have two super extremely talented ladies that are like the cream of the division. And that's your Ronda Rousey, your Miesha Tate. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, everyone else is down here. And then Miesha and Ronda are just levels above everybody else. And that's not to say that the other women in the division couldn't beat the holy hell out of me. They probably could,
My question is how soon, honestly, how soon before Ronda Rousey officially hangs it up and goes towards the bright lights of Hollywood, or maybe even, because she's been kind of a fixture in WWE for a couple of months, ever since WrestleMania.
If Rousey's next big fight is the rubber match, well, it's not even a rubber match, because she beat Tate both times before. If she's taking a third fight with Miesha Tate as a title fight, how much more do you got left in you? Like, what more do you have left to prove with the division in the current state it's in? And the UFC just pruned a couple women's bantamweights too. I know Shannon Baszler.
You think?
No, Baszler. Was she a welterweight was she a bantamweight or a featherweight?
She's lower.
Strawweight.
She's lower.
Okay. But still,
we could look that up and we could talk about that.
Yeah, but still, the UFC's not in any position where they need to be pruning any women talent. They need to be developing their stable of competitors.
Yeah, because right now, the betting odds at one point were plus 1,500 for Ronda, and they were minus 1,200 for Correia. Right. One of my friends sent me a screenshot. He placed a bet for $10. He was going to win 120 if Correia won. I just texted him back. I said, "You might as well have given that $10 to me."
Yeah.
Because it's gone. Yeah, there's a reason the odds makers pick it that way. And do you really want to pay UFC pay-per-view price to see Ronda
not
smash
34
someone?
seconds. It's like
30 seconds.
It's like the Tyson pay-per-views. I mean, back in the 90s.
Back in the 90s,
Here's the difference, though. The talent that Tyson was going against was much. Tyson was awesome, but the heavyweights in Tyson's time, they were better than what we're seeing.
Tyson's been fed cans before, though, too. His fight out of prison.
Everyone won them.
His fight out of prison when he fought McNeely was a can.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, what hope did McNeely ever have?
Lucky punch.
I don't even think Luck would have been able to help him.
Look, the only way that Correa was winning that fight is if Ronda fell and hurt herself on the way in, or knocked herself out with something. Look, she had no business being in there.
No,
and it was evidenced by what happened. The only argument you could potentially make for anyone else in the division would potentially be that if Kat did not run at her and maybe had a couple normal fights where, because think about it.
Yeah.
And, Patrick and I went round and round about this. I personally think that Misha is better than Zingano. However, look what Zingano did to Misha. But we know that MMA math does not always apply. X plus Y doesn't always equal Z.
Right.
So you could potentially make the case that if Zingano had, 2 fights, well, the division's pretty thin.
Extremely thin.
Had 2 fights, get her back up there. Have her fight Davis and Correa. She beats those 2, then put her back in there to get starched again.
Here's the thing: the UFC put how much time and resources into aligning with Invicta FC.
Mm-hmm.
That is the perfect farm league for your women fighters. If Correa isn't cutting the mustard, or if Rinnikai isn't able to perform, send him to Invicta. Piss him off a little bit. Be like, you know what, you're being demoted here. Prove me you come back. Let him dominate the division. Let him get their momentum built back up, and then let him come back and get a title shot.
Where does that put you for Rousey, though? Because she's not going to do this.
I don't think
every time she steps into the cage, she's one step closer to potentially losing the fight. And I'm not saying that I don't think she can beat everybody in the division. She has, handedly, hands down. However, what are you going to do? Farm people for 2 or 3 years?
I don't think Rousey has much left to prove. I mean, honestly, if they're still...
Cyborg needs to make weight and, maybe quit taking tests and then fight her. If Cyborg wants the Rousey fight, Cyborg needs to cut to 135. That's the opinion there. Sarah McMahon, she's decorated. She's a decorated wrestler, but look what happened to her. I mean, if you look at the division, Ronda's embarrassing people.
Yeah.
She's embarrassing the division. Actually, the best thing that could happen to that division would be Ronda retire.
Yeah, and then Misha Tate might reign supreme until her career runs out?
Or maybe Misha takes her in the deep water, maybe Chael Sonnens her, like Anderson. Well, think about it. What happened? Anderson won both fights, but what happened to Anderson after Chael?
He wasn't quite the same after that.
Exactly.
Now, would Ronda have like a... I know Metamoris is not looking to include women competitors in their grappling, but like, could Ronda possibly launch something like the Pro Grappling League where she competes in grappling matches against women on the side? Like, because the UFC
fighters want to watch it.
Honestly, every time I've seen a Metamoris match, it's all been jiu-jitsu. I want to see someone with like solid judo credentials. I want to see someone like a Pat Johnson get into a Metamoris match and toss someone on their head. I want to see something like that.
He's in the trial, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Didn't he?
What I'm saying is,
someone in the trial.
I'm just saying, like, I think I want to see something like, I want to see judo come into a Metamoris, and like, judo's got some fantastic high dynamic throws and stuff to the style.
I've never seen it before. I don't know.
All right, we gotta move on because time is short because we got guys that want to do radio shows here in a little while. So the next topic, okay, so I don't mispronounce it. It's Rousimar, right?
Yes, Rousimar Palhares.
Rousimar Palhares defeated Jake Shields.
Yeah.
I almost went Husafar because I'm reading the script and I'm not thinking about
Portuguese art.
Yeah. Friggin' Portuguese art.
Drew, if you just say Paul Harris, everybody will know who you mean.
All right.
Like Paul, last name Harris. If you say it like that, everyone will know.
Rousimar Palhares defeating Jake Shields to retain the World Series of Fighting title. Let's talk about this.
He beat Jake Shields with
Kimura.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. No, go ahead.
Well, the problem is that Palhares is
A piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's essentially garnered himself a reputation where he wins by submission and he keeps cranking the submission after the bell.
Yeah, and these aren't statements just lamenting someone at all. They can be factually backed up. You can see Jake Shields, and I don't know if you saw the video. He's underneath. He's tapping Rousimar's behind, tapping him. Rousimar's still like do 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 do, and I can tell you from personal experience.
Oh yeah,
it takes not long to go from okay, this just really hurts and I don't like it to I need surgery.
Yeah. It's almost like we could almost essentially compare it to a Pavlov's dog. You're in the middle of a submission, you hear that bell ring. Are you or are you not going to relax your defense because you think you are no longer in danger?
You give me in a submission, I'm 100% fighting out of it, even if after the bell. Because I don't know if I'm with a clown like Paul Harris.
Now here's the question: is he in danger of not being licensed in the U.S. because of this?
I guarantee you, he would not pull that stunt in Pennsylvania more than once. Because he would not be fighting again.
Now, okay, let's look at another side of this. Because I mean, I said what I think about the guy. He's very, very talented. He's super strong, but at the same time, I think he's just a waste of cells. Because okay, the guy tapped, let go. If there's any dispute whether or not he tapped, it's not like the thing's not being videoed.
Right.
You know, there's thousands of people there that could say, hey, he tapped. Let's talk about Jake cracking him one after the bell, or after the let up, and I think that's fine. Honestly, to me,
at that point, competitorship and being a good sport is completely up to them.
Well, here's my opinion on it. Okay, if you look at like what Paul Daly did, that was bad. That was no good. Paul Daly cracked Josh Koscheck after the bell, complete sucker punch. What happened here was that Rousimar, he's cranking on your arm after you tag. You know what? He should get a little shot because he assaulted you. The rules are you fight until, okay, it's like, hey, we're fighting. I've tapped, I've capitulated, you've beat me. Let go. Right. Oh, I'm going to break your arm. You know what? You deserve that punch in the mouth. And if Jake gets any repercussions, I think it's too much. Anything. Even them telling him don't do it again is too much.
So then when does World Series of Fighting become responsible for their champion?
Whenever they can't book him in fights. Because, I mean, if he's not going to get licensed in Pennsylvania with his reputation.
No.
He's not. He'd get served quicker than shit. Eventually, Vegas is going to stop licensing him. California's going to stop licensing him. I can't imagine New Jersey's going to do it either.
Well, okay, here's the other problem. Last night there was a big scuffle between the Diaz brothers and Khabib Nurmagomedov. I think I said that right. Him and his people. So there's a big fight in the crowd, and that's going to overshadow this, I bet.
And that's a shame.
Yeah.
Because Palhares really needs to be... Someone really needs to be responsible for putting...
He needs hit really hard.
He needs to be put in a spot where someone's responsible for... Every time this guy gets into a cage, he starts acting like a knucklehead. People are in real physical danger outside of competition with this guy. He's clearly a danger to life and limb.
Well, do you know what needs to happen, I guess? Someone needs to intentionally foul him and show him what it's like. His face is down there, just boot him right in the mouth.
Whenever he did it to Babalu, it was a heel hook?
Mm-hmm.
You keep cranking on a heel hook even after someone taps, you're gonna damage something that...
Yeah. I mean, you have a guy as strong as Paul Harris. Jeez. I mean, the guy's a behemoth.
Yeah. But he's clearly a danger to life.
He has problems.
Would you want to get into a spot where having that guy behind the wheel and you're in the car?
Nope.
I mean, let's be honest. You can't let him go of a submission whenever the referee tells you to stop and the bell rings.
Yeah, you can't be trusted. You can't.
What stop signs could be suggestions to this guy.
What about Paul Harris daycare?
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I mean, the guy's clearly evidenced more than once. This isn't 2 times. This isn't 3.
Right.
I think we're up to half a dozen.
Oh yeah.
And then in competition, not just MMA,
like tournaments,
but grappling competition. He's notorious for not letting go of legs. I can't feel him tapping. I just get so excited.
If I were Ray Safel in the executives at World Series of Fighting, right now I'd be going through phone books and contacts trying to find the one guy who's going to beat them and then never get him a title shot ever again, because he's clearly an embarrassment to that team.
I just cut him loose from the organization. Hey, you're a piece of trash. You can't play by the rules. I mean, I get it. Trash talk to build up a fight. Whatever. Go the whole 9 yards. Maybe shove each other or whatever you got to do.
But tell him not to cry.
Tell him not to cry. Don't cry. Don't cry, little baby. But you hang on to a submission too long, you know what? You deserve punched in the mouth and kicked out of the organization. That's my 2 cents.
I can't agree with that more.
And Van Wilder, he should be left alone on this. I'm sorry, Jake Shields. Looks like Van Wilder.
It does.
Like Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Like Deadpool.
I guess you could draw a correlation.
Yeah, as well. I don't know. Anyway.
The guy from Waiting.
The guy from Waiting. Yeah, that guy.
Monty.
No, wait a second. The guy from Waiting?
Monty.
Okay, we're not talking about Dane Cook. We're talking about Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Practically the same guy, but they were the same
guy. Yeah. All right. Moving on. We're going to take a break. We're going to get into our next segment, talking about the rumors behind Pride FC coming back. Will it or won't it? Who knows? Stick around. We've got more Cage Nation TV coming up next here on whatever you're watching it on.
Did you know that Cage Nation TV covers fights over a wide range of cities and states? We've got friends and viewers in major cities like Pittsburgh, close friends in the burgeoning fight scene like Altoona, and new friends as far south as Virginia. We want to put our brand to work for you, and the easiest way to do that is a sponsorship with Cage Nation TV. Every time we go to a fight, your brand comes along with us. Every time we break new ground, there you are. Sponsoring Cage Nation TV is a great way to get your product to new clients or remind old clients why they need your product in their lives. Contact Cage Nation TV by email at cagenationtv@gmail.com or visit cagenationtv.com. By email at cagenationtv@gmail.com or visit www.cagenationtv.com.
Welcome back to Cage Nation TV. Drew, Albert, Rob. Rumors are abound that Pride FC is going to be coming back. Gracie Mag has stated that Nobuyuki Sakakibara, did I get it right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That was good.
Well, you got a phonetic. Sakakibara is planning legal action against Zuffa Entertainment for the Pride FC brand. They further report that Sakakibara has a large financial backer to help launch the resurgence of Pride or another MMA promotion. That rumored backer is Scott Coker, CEO of Bellator. Gentlemen, let's discuss. Can the magic of Pride FC be recaptured?
Best entrances ever.
Yeah.
That music. Oh my god.
But, I mean, essentially, I think the magic's gone. I think once Pride was sold.
You just wouldn't call it Pride. Call it something else. I don't know why.
How about we call it Dream? Or we call it Sengoku? Or maybe 1FC?
I see where you're trying to go with this.
Yeah.
I don't appreciate your candor. I don't.
I'm just saying, like, the entrances are great, but I think the magic's gone. Like, whenever Pride FC folded, there was talk that...
Fold?
Purchased. Well, I say
acquired and closed.
Yeah. Before it was acquired and closed, there was talk that Dream Stage Entertainment was involved with an unsavory organization. I'm not going to mention that unsavory organization by name.
Yakuza.
The Yakuza.
Come on. Okay, it just stands to reason that you get any level of fighting that's at the upper echelon, that any organized crime will potentially be involved. Be it mob, Yakuza,
Rafa.
Whoever. It doesn't matter. You know, the U.S. government, you know, criminal organizations. Sorry, I had to get that in there.
No, that's...
It just stands to reason. So when there's money to be exploited, someone will work to exploit that money.
Yes.
So, with that aside, and we know that there were many cans crushed in Pride. We know there were many works in Pride.
I'm someone who's really big on like the little intricacies of things. And if you look at the Pride Legacy collections, you take a look at Pride Legacy Collection 1 and Pride Legacy Collection 2. It says like 5 discs over 100 matches. Part 2 says 5 discs over 100 fights. To me, that just says like, oh, we may have been working, probably not, but I'm gonna nitpick on it anyway. I think a lot of the fight, and if you needed further evidence that I think Pride might have been worked, how many Pride guys came over to the UFC and won titles?
Anderson Silva.
We don't consider him a Pride fighter.
How?
He had one fight in Pride and he lost to Hio Chona into a flying heel hook.
He still fought in Pride. He was still a Pride fighter.
I consider him a Shudo. I consider Anderson Silva a Shudo fighter more than I do a Pride fighter. The only one I can think of is Rampage Jackson. That's it. Fedor came over to the United States and got beaten by Dan Henderson and Fabrizio Verdum.
Fabrizio fought in Pride.
Yeah. Yes, he did. And now he is, what, heavyweight champion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's two. Heath Herring. Heath Herring was supposed to be the savior of the UFC heavyweight division.
And he got starched by Brock. I'm so glad. You know, we went round and round how I feel about the whole pro wrestling angle and all that. But I'm so glad Brock just beat the hell out of him. And Brock could have finished it sooner. Brock actually said that, I could have ended that fight sooner, but I wanted more cage time.
Yeah.
And he rode him. It was great. I loved it.
Now, does Sakakibara have a leg to stand on to reclaim the brand?
No. We've went round and round about the UFC's lawyers before.
Yeah.
They got big, expensive lawyers with last names that have more vowels than constants, or that end in like Berg and Stein. These are people that have money, they have power, they have influence, they know what the hell they're doing.
It's terrible.
No, it's the truth. You look up all the law firms that they have working for them. They know what they're doing. They get shit done. You think that they're gonna? This guy here, he's gonna be like, all right, I get Pride. One of their lawyers is going to look at it. Yeah, I'm Zuffa legal. What do we got here? You don't have a leg to stand on. Hey, Zuffa, you owe me $4 grand. Or, whatever they say.
Yeah.
I'm being serious.
I mean, you figure the deal
Don't
is...
touch me till Edgar Snyder gets here.
The deal is done.
Yeah, they were acquired.
The deal is done.
What are you going to do? Buy them back?
Well,
what's there to buy? A name.
Yeah.
This isn't McDonald's that we're buying.
Okay,
the name has value.
Let's think, like, what physical assets could still be remaining? The ring? That's been what, almost, 8 years ago since Pride was sold? Okay, so the ring ropes? The ring girl? No. It's all gone. Like, it's all been liquidated.
So, who bought the ring girls?
The Yakuza.
Well, I was going to say, you said they were liquidated. I'm just curious. They were available.
Like, the Pride assets are gone.
You mean, like, liquidated?
Pride was bought for the video library. There is no doubt in my mind. If you need further evidence of that, log on UFC Fight Pass.
I refuse. If I can't watch the Fox events on Fight Pass, I'm not paying for Fight Pass.
Well,
we went around and around
and there's another deal with them, and we're going to go off topic here, but the Fight Pass, if you can't get the pay-per-views on Fight Pass, what's the point of Fight Pass?
The prelims. And the Fight Pass exclusive fights.
Well, then,
so they have Fight Night exclusive cards on Fight Pass.
Well, then what they need to do with Fight Pass is, if it's at all possible, have the $9.99 tier, but if you want to get pay-per-views as well, bump it up by about $10.
Yeah, I think we had this discussion before. And actually, okay, we'll circle back to the pro wrestling angle. Don't you get all the pay-per-views if you buy that?
$9.99.
$9.99, and that gets you all the events, everything, right?
That gets you everything.
And old video libraries.
And you get the entire...
everything. You have access to everything.
You have access to every single pay-per-view that they have ever done in WWE, and ECW, and WCW. You have original programming. You've got classic fights.
You have
Stuff
everything.
like that. You have everything.
Okay, and you look at the price, and I'm sure that the networks are probably upset. Like, well, wait a minute, what are you doing? You're taking...
Well,
they didn't care.
Right. Dish and what the satellite companies have already dropped the WWE pay-per-views. Comcast still has them. I don't know about the other cable companies, but the main two satellite companies, they're like, if you're going to do that, you're kind of undercutting us. F you. We're not.
Well, but you know what? Though? You really can't be too angry at the WWE for doing what they're doing, because I'm sure they got the subscriptions out of that.
Completely eliminating overhead too.
Oh yeah.
Like they're getting funds in. We don't have to pay a pay-per-view provider,
and they have control over their own product.
Exactly, and that's important when you have control of the pipeline.
Now, let's bring that into UFC.
Why haven't they done it?
Why haven't they?
Even at $20 a month, I'm sure their fans would pay it.
I mean, let's face it. WWE has kind of created the mold, the standard as,
promotional product and entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They've pretty much led the way in pay-per-view.
Absolutely.
And they've kind of paved the way for UFC and other organizations to do pay-per-view.
Well, because let's.
So why not follow the example?
Let's go a little further on this road. Okay, I don't watch pro wrestling.
Right.
We know that it's been discussed ad nauseum. However, look at the show you get if you go to a pro wrestling show. When they come to State College, I don't even like pro wrestling. I still go. Why not?
Right.
It's cheap. You get to see something that's it's whatever.
Where were you the last time?
I was working. So. With that said, but look at the stage show you get. Look at the presentation of the product.
Yeah,
the product isn't giving you. It's not giving you in a brown paper bag. It's like when you go to McDonald's and you get a Happy Meal. You're given the Happy Meal product. The McDonald's product is being branded to you.
Right.
The early UFCs, they weren't marketed like that. They weren't given to you as that brand, and they almost fell through with that. When the show got more showy, I guess, for lack of a better way to say it, when more showmanship was put into it, when more stage presence, when more was put into the production, it got better.
Yeah.
It grew. Why not follow the example?
Pride's one of the things about Pride is everyone's like the entrances. That was all borrowed from professional wrestling.
Of course,
Professional wrestling over in Japan is all about presentation and pageantry, and that's what Pride borrowed from, and that's what set Pride different than the UFC at the time.
Yep.
Was the pageantry and the presentation. People loved it. I mean, because you got to figure when Pride launched, what did you know about mixed martial arts? I think Pride launched in '95. Mm-hmm. What did we know about mixed martial arts at the time? We knew that you had a tough man contest that was being held in a thing called an octagon, and at the time, all we knew about man-on-man competition was either boxing, which
we saw what happened.
Yeah, and then we knew professional wrestling. So Pride got the professional wrestling pageantry, and it became more relatable. I mean, even today, the UFC just has guys walking out of a door in the locker room, and they have music playing, and then they're coming to the cage. That's what Pride did. That was Pride's competitive differentiation, was the pageantry and the ceremony. Can the magic be recaptured? I think it's gone.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's coming back.
All right, now, just really quick, because we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
And I pretty much should know the answer to this already. Is Zuffa fully utilizing the brand the way they could have?
Absolutely not.
Do you mean the Pride brand?
The Pride brand.
Yeah, they don't need to do anything with it. I disagree with you on it just on principle. They have the UFC, they bought it to shut it down, to get access to the video libraries, to get a couple of the fighter contracts. And you look at what they got out of it. Mark Hunt, a guy they wanted to just pay out so they didn't have to watch him fight. He turned out some really good numbers for them, made him some pretty good money, He had a shot at gold, unfortunately, he's probably going to get another one.
That toe looks disgusting, by the way.
Oh.
I disagree. I think that if Zuffa had been able to maintain the Pride brand, I think it could have bridged the Pacific gap. That the UFC could have had a bigger Japanese foothold in MMA.
They're going to have it. They're already going global. The events are going worldwide. There's more going in different countries.
I think there is a huge money in MMA in Japan, and I think if they had been able
call up Scott Coker, see if you can work for him.
That's okay. My problem with Scott Coker is you did okay with Strikeforce. You sold to the UFC. You probably made a pretty decent payday. Now you're gonna be the CEO of Bellator. What, to either prime it to be purchased by the UFC or to prove that you can still put on your promoter pants? I don't know. What are him and Sakakibara gonna be able to do? I mean, unless it's a women's MMA promotion where they're gonna get another 135er that can challenge Ronda Rousey. I don't know what more can be done. We already have established UFC is king of the mountain right here. That all the best talent in the world gravitates to the UFC. Yeah. Are they there yet? Right? We don't know, but that's where they gravitate towards. You're going to need a mighty hefty checkbook to even compete. And I don't know if Scott Coker has got the interest rate on his credit card to make that work.
They're not going to be able to buy Pride back. Pride's done.
Yeah.
Pride's sank. It's like the Titanic.
It's a T-shirt you buy on UFC.com. That's essentially what Pride is now.
All right. We're going to end that right there. We'll pick it up for another day, I'm sure. And hopefully, maybe Pride will be coming back. We'll just have to see what happens with that. Coming up in our next segment, our final segment, talking about the Reebok deal working out for the UFC. Is it working out the way they hoped? We'll find out in just a few. Get their opinion right here on Cage Station TV. Stick around.
Planet Aries Records. Independent music from our amps to your ears.
Welcome back to Cage Station TV. Drew, Albert, Rob. In the time we have remaining, we want to talk about the Reebok deal and UFC. Is it working out the way they'd hoped? Amateur wrestling standout Ed Ruth decided to sign with Bellator to get his own sponsors, giving Bellator the edge on an up-and-coming talent. Josh Koscheck opted out of renewing with the UFC to fight for Bellator, citing the Reebok deal. Stitch Duran, cut man extraordinaire, gets fired because of anti-Reebok statements made. Playing devil's advocate, if I can get that word out, has Koscheck been an impact player in the welterweight division? Let's discuss that real quick.
No, I mean, Koscheck,
he probably beat me up, but his days at top level competition are done.
There's a point where Bellator is, it might as well be called has-been fighting championship.
Oh!
You remember talking about Rampage.
Yeah.
What did Rampage prove in Bellator? Nothing. What is Tito Ortiz proving in Bellator? Bellator, under Coker's direction, though, they are getting some up-and-comers. Signing Koscheck, though, what's that proof?
Right? It's going to be a stepping stone for another
Who's going
to get picked up by the UFC?
Well, unless he wants his own sponsors, and then he's going to stick right with Bellator.
Now, let's get to the topic at hand, though, the deal with Reebok. Has the deal been good for the sport?
No. Not even close. Not even. And I'll tell you who suffers. I'll tell you who suffers most in this deal that I don't think anyone's considering. Is the sponsors, like the small sponsors, the guys who believe enough in a Chris Dempsey or a Dominic Mazzata or a Mark Jericho to put up their dollars, because there's no guarantee they're getting any return on investment.
Right.
There's no guarantee. They're putting up money for these guys to go train because they believe in these guys as people and their abilities as athletes. To not be able to take I'm sponsored by Drew's Tire Shack.
But they can give him $500 for the Reebok deal if he has this many fights. He can get $500.
Therein lies the problem. Like Drew's Tire Shack, like he supported me all through my career. I'm about to hit the big stage. I want to take Drew's Tire Shack with me to have his brand put on the big stage to say thank you for him believing me in all those years where I'm fighting on smaller promotions, where I'm fighting in Altoona, I'm fighting in Johnstown. And now I am unable to do so.
But you'll get $500 for Reebok.
I think the Reebok deal is awful. I think it is completely holding guys back. I think it is completely stunted income potential.
What kind of shoes do you wear?
New Balance.
New Balance. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Did you buy your New Balance because your favorite fighter walked out to the cage wearing a pair of New Balance?
No, I bought them because they cover my feet.
This is where I'm going with this. Are you going to go buy a pair of fight shorts because they're the official fight short of the UFC?
No, I'm going to buy them because they're functional and they.
Are you going to buy your Cutman vest because Reebok's brand is on it?
No.
I can't think of a purchase in my life that I've made where I was like, I gotta have that Reebok thing that I saw at the UFC thing when they were doing that fighting thing because I need the Reebok thing.
Right.
Admittedly, I never ate the official corn nut of the UFC. However,
how many of us know about CondomDepot.com because it was on the back of someone's shorts?
It seems so wrong.
Well, apparently one person, because I don't even know.
Let's be completely honest.
Doesn't it seem wrong that that was on someone's butt, though?
It was on Chris Liebman's butt when he was fighting Terry Martin.
Because are you saying that that's where you deposit them? What is the message?
What I'm saying is,
she's into it. I mean, come on.
What I'm saying is
Illuminati.
What I'm saying is, like, it does create brand recognition. Like,
yes.
Are we gonna know that Reebok is the official sponsor of the UFC? Yeah. Do we know that Corn Nut's the official nut of the UFC? Yes. Do we know about Toyo Tires and CondomDepot.com because it was in the UFC? Okay. So Drew's Tire Shack. I have the potential to create brand recognition for Drew's Tire Shack. I'm not going to say you're going to go buy your off-road tires for your truck at Drew's Tire Shack. What I'm saying is I'm creating brand recognition where Drew might be able to put on his advertising as seen on UFC Fighter. Right. That is that in my belief that's who suffers throughout this whole thing is that the local sponsors who are completely sponsoring these guys to the main stage.
And now that carpet's being pulled off from underneath them.
Yeah. That's my problem with it. Stitch Duran, that was bullshit.
Yeah.
Complete. You want to retain the best. Ronald Reagan himself said, "How do you grow an organization? You find the best talent, you retain them." They just let the best talent in the business go because of Reebok.
That leads into the next question: are the UFC's Gestapo-like approach to criticism going to continue? I mean, can it?
No.
You're gonna. In my opinion, more people are gonna be upset. Well, I don't know.
We're in State College, PA right now.
Right.
Where Eddie Ruth wrestled at the Bryce Jordan Center, trained on campus. We know in town here that kid is an absolute animal. Todd Brown, the sports director for Magnum Broadcasting, will tell you Eddie Ruth is an absolute animal. And he is a natural athlete who, whatever sport he goes into after wrestling, he's going to dominate in. UFC had a chance to capitalize on that. An NCAA Division I wrestler, wrestling champion, and now Bellator got him. And I'm more inclined to go watch a Bellator fight as soon as Eddie Ruth gets on it than I am whatever UFC card's going to be on that.
Plus, you're going to have got a lot of guys looking at these examples, especially at Stitch Duran, voicing his opinion about the deal. They're going to be like, well, what, we can't speak our mind anymore just because we're under the UFC banner? I'm going to go somewhere else.
These sponsors are the ones who pull the UFC out of being a tough man contest in Colorado
Right.
to being a legitimate sport. If it weren't for Bad Boy, if it weren't for full contact fight, if it weren't for tap out, if it weren't for...
But if you can get a couple fights, you'll get $2,000.
But
Do you get shoes out of the deal though?
oh, not only you get your fighting apparel, you get your warm up apparel, and your cornermen, they get apparel.
Oh,
Done.
sold.
Yeah.
Sold. I'm going to be a cage fighter tonight.
Well, you'd be better off fighting for Bellator, I think would be the point of that story, because you could bring your Rob Lynn photography sponsorship into the cage with you.
You bring your field on figure real estate.
Yeah. Like,
So the bottom line is, this is not helping the UFC
This
at
is-
all.
3 steps in the wrong direction. This UFC Reebok deal is profiting somebody, but it's not the fighters, and it certainly is not the fans. And certainly not the sponsors who have helped fund these guys being able to train to get to the highest level of competition either.
All right, that's the final.
Like, we're never going to see a Wilkins Electric shirt in the UFC octagon because of...
Hashtag Wilkins Electric.
That's the final word on that. Gentlemen, we got to wrap this up. Hey, make sure to follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube.
Wrap it up at condomdepot.com.
Wrap it up at condomdepot.com.
I had to.
Wow.
I wonder if I can get them to sponsor our Cage Nation TV wrap-up.
Toyo Tires.
Wrap it up with Condom Depot.
Subscribe to us on YouTube, and you'll find out when we post the next edition of Cage Nation TV.
Albert,
Could
the
be.
official Albert of Cage Nation TV.
Could be next week. It could
Rob-
be next month. Who knows? But
Rob
we'll
Lynn,
be
the
back.
official photographer of Cage Nation TV.
Lost all control here. Quick shout out to someone who is very influential in not only the wrestling industry, but also gave permission for Rowdy Rousey to use the Rowdy moniker.
And a
that
black
would be-
belt under Judo Gene LaBelle.
And that would be Roddy Piper, who will be sorely missed, passing away this past Friday due to cardiac arrest at age 61. He was a legend, he was an icon, he was an entertainer, and I pray to God they've got
He was
enough.
a black belt too?
Yeah.
Pray to God they got enough bubble gum in heaven, because he's
Wow.
going to be pissed if there isn't.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was awarded a black belt under Judo Gene LaBelle. Yep.
In judo.
Mhm.
Get out. I did not know
It was
that.
on the internet, must be true.
I'm going to type some stuff up.
Okay.
Until next time, Albert, me, him. We'll talk to you later on Cage Nation TV. Have a great one. See ya.
Let's go.